Okay, so you guys are going to be painting your ancient Greek vases today, and we're going to be giving it a highlight and a shadow, and you're going to get to choose your side. At your table, you're going to have this tray that has brown, black, and white, and it's going to be in between you and the person sitting next to you, so you're going to be sharing. So you're going to start first with brown, and you're going to put it right in the middle. You'll also notice at your seats there's no cup of water to wash off your paintbrush, and I'll explain why in a second. You're going to dip your paintbrush into the brown. Notice how, you guys, I did not have the paint go all the way to the metal part of the paintbrush. You don't need that much. If you have too much, it's a little hard to control, okay? And you're going to start by, it doesn't matter what section, this one, okay? But you're going to start by putting the paint in the middle, okay? And you're going to work your way out to this side and then the left side. It doesn't matter which side first, okay? And the challenge is going to be learning how to follow the curve of your vase. So for example, this here curves down, out and then down. It's kind of like a square. So I'm going to be kind of coming out here and then coming down straight. You see how I am following that curve of my vase? And then you're going to fill it in. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. My paint's a little thick. Yours might be thick too. I tried to save it over the weekend, but it will create a really nice effect. It will have some texture. Okay, so I didn't just leave my stripe in the middle. I really am reaching out almost to my edge, like maybe 1 finger width from the edge of my vase to where the paint is. You don't have to put your finger there, okay? But that's kind of an example. The next color you're going to dip into is your black. So I'm going to just do a tiny dip. I don't even have that much black on here. That's okay. A tiny dip. Notice how there's still brown on my paintbrush, right? I'm going to choose one side. I'm choosing the left side. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that black, okay, onto my paper. And I'm going to then push down, and notice how then my brown that's still on my paintbrush kind of blends in with that black, and it helps it blend a little bit. I need a little bit more black for my edge, and I'm going to come down. Now when the two colors meet, when this black here meets with the brown, I'm going to do something called feathering. Okay, so I take my brush, I try to get any of the paint off of my brush on the side of my paper that's white, not the blue paper or the colored paper underneath, just on the side, and then so there's not that much paint on there. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to really gentle, as if you're tickling the paper with the feather. Okay, really gentle, kind of go right on top of where the two meet, back and forth. I'm going back and forth. And what that does is that really gives it a nice blended look. You see how that, it's a little hard to see, but you see how that is now darker very gradually to the brown. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing to the white. So now I take my paintbrush, anything else, if it's like that, it's perfect. But if it's really thick, that means you have a lot of paint on your brush and you want to really get most of the paint off. And then you're going to dip into your white, the same thing. You don't need that much, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and come on this side and do my white. Now notice, because I still had a little brown on my brush, it's not a pure white, right? It's like a little hint of brown. And then I go ahead, and then how do I feather it? What do I have to do with my paintbrush to really blend those two together? Yes? I'm going to wipe it off. Excellent. And then what do I do? Excellent. So right here in that line where they meet, I'm going from my brown over to my white and then back into my brown. And so you guys can see how that just started to blend that color. How beautiful is that, right? And anytime I'm coming up here, do you see how I'm following the curve? Okay. So that's how you would then approach this area. So what color would I start with? Anyone like to tell me? Brown, right? I start with brown, I put it in the middle. Do I leave it right there? No. No, I come out to the side, but now I'm following this curve. So I'm coming out here, I'm making a curve, I'm making a curve, and then I fill it with my paint. What's my next color? Black. Black, excellent. You guys rocking this. Okay, my black, I'm coming in here, adding my black. Okay, then I'm cleaning my paintbrush off, I'm feathering it, right? What's my next color? White. White. You guys know how to do this. You're professional painters already. I had too much paint, so I took some off. I just figured that out. And I'm going to go ahead and follow that curve. What do I do with my paintbrush? Wipe it off. Excellent. and then I'm going to feather back and forth, and I'm following my curves. And then I would do it here, I would do it here. Now for the handle, you guys can choose. You can either paint it all brown and leave it, or you can try to do the blending in the same way, but in a smaller section. So I can do brown in the middle, black on this side, and then white on this side. You can completely choose how you want to do your handle, okay?